Hey guys, welcome to part 8. In this video we're going to finish Trap, Hideout, and Thermal Base and move on with the story, so yeah, things are going to get pretty crazy. And look at that, I guess this is where Carol learned how to ride a motorcycle. I like that they use gameplay to convey that sort of thing instead of just more cutscenes, you know? I like it when they do little things like that to just make the world feel more alive, and okay, this is that section that I was talking about in the last video. The one, like, good luck trying to get through this as Carol. Just watch. Okay, how is Carol supposed to make it through here without hurting herself or destroying the motorcycle? I don't know. I really shouldn't be bothered by there simply being a section like that. I guess it's just because of what my expectations were for this level and for Carol. Again, I just think that Carol kind of gets the shaft in terms of the gameplay. She really is the least fun to play as at times. But whatever, let's move on. I do think the cards in this stage are pretty easy to get. It's just that you have to keep an eye out for them, because ones like that are like right under your nose. You wouldn't think, oh, they wouldn't be dumb enough to put a card there. And, well, no, they're smart enough to put one there because they know you wouldn't expect one to be that easy to find, and yeah, anyway. Look at the background, it's getting pretty lively here. Yeah, we're just about at the end of the level. I know there wasn't that much to see in this video. We were already near the end of it if you think about it, but I don't know. On paper, it sounded better to just have, like, the first act of these two stages in, you know, the previous video, and then to finish them in this one. Alright, this is where we fight the boss of this stage. And, as merely you just have to fight 15 of these ninjas. Which, I mean, thank goodness for that, because when I played through this as Carol and found out you have to defeat 99 of these guys, I worried about what it would be like to play through them as Mila, but don't worry, you only have so many of them, and they each drop flower petals, and it's not that hard. But I also wanted to show a bit of Carol, you know, with a motorcycle, and show what it's like to get to that section as her. Just watch how quickly this gets out of hand. Yeah, I can't even hear the music. All I hear are the sounds of engines revving and ninjas jumping around and crashing into me. It's nice that they give you a couple of extra gas tanks in case your motorcycle gets destroyed. I found that you usually only need one. If you can make it through the first, I don't know, 50 or so of them. Like, well, okay, once you're down to the last 30 or even 40, you should be able to rough it, because they'll eventually start dropping the flower petals and whatnot, and you should be able to make it as long as you get a good sizable chunk of them down with a motorcycle. If you don't use it at all, well, you're in trouble. They will wear you down. But, you know, it's an interesting highlight of the game, just all these crazy enemies, and it's time for another character battle. The boss of this level is none other than Spade. And now you're going to see what I was talking about earlier. I have such a hard time beating him as Carol. In fact, I've only ever beaten him once. And no, it is not in this recording, you'll see. It's just that Carol is so slow and her attacks do so little damage. They do try to give you a couple of perks, like being able to use these jump pads to sneak up behind him. You know, you can do that. It has worked out for me sometimes. And then, of course, you can grab one of the extra gas tanks and, you know, try to clip him with a motorcycle. It does make you faster. It does, you know, help you jump higher and all that, but even so, I have a much harder time beating this guy as Carol than as either of the other characters. It is just unbearable. Okay, so, I'm down to the last of my health. Dang it. And, of course, I'm going to show how easily Mila can just blow through this boss fight. You can block all of his attacks with the shields and the blocks. And you just have to wait for him to get up close, and then and you just do that a few times, and eventually he'll go down. I mean, it does still come down to the wire in this recording. I do still almost die, but still I had a much easier time beating him with Mila than with Carol, simply because she has all these neat tricks, and she barely even has to move. You just have to be steadfast and not give this guy an inch. And there you go.
I'm a super dog.
You certainly are. Like I said, this is basically a Mila stage.
You're here to ask for help, aren't you? Couldn't handle that little quest of yours on your own?
Cram it, Spade! Stop it! You're right. We need your help. Our friends are in trouble.
I'm supposed to care why?
The guy who kidnapped them is the one who killed your father.
Ooh.
Face it, Buster. We're the only lead you've got.
Alright, let's go see what Lilac's been up to. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? Oh. Oh, God. He cut off her Leku. And I can see blood. And meat. I thought these people were made of pillows.
I know you're awake. Answer the question. Why do you fight?
For my friends. I'll do whatever it takes to keep them safe from freaks like you.
Keep them safe. Every move you've made has put them directly in harm's way. Destroying our property, assisting our sworn enemies, attempting sabotage against our mission, which, by the way, has nothing to do with your world. We are leaving this barbaric planet behind as soon as our ship is repaired.
You forgot the part where you took our kingdom stone, where you ruined years of peace between my people and put thousands in danger.
An unfortunate side effect, yes. But I wouldn't have resorted to such drastic measures if you had the common sense to stay out of our affairs. Thanks to you, your companions are in more danger than ever. Allow me to show you the consequences of your stupidity.
Lilac! I had to do something!
Answers, Commander. Give them to me.
Yeah, it's time for this scene. Oh,
You've
boy.
seen how far I'll go to get the information I need.
Don't tell him anything!
This is gonna hurt.
Very well. Don't say I didn't warn you.
That's the last one! There's no one else left! There, you happy? I'm telling the truth!
That's nice to know, but I was more interested in your resolve. You crack easily, it seems. And this one. I have a funny feeling about you. I'll bet I could hack at your limbs all day and you'd still find a way to bite back.
I'll do more than that, you monster!
When we've lured the rest of your group into our hands, you'll be at the top of our execution list.
Sir, the chasers are within visual range.
Let's see what they're made of.
Okay, it's time we wrap things up with Thermal Base. And no, I'm not going to show Carol going through the whole stage in this recording. I just wanted to show a couple of highlights, like right here. This is one of those times where her abilities do come in really handy. It's just that these chances don't come by too often. But, you know, she is fun to play as at times. Like here. Look at this. She's outrunning an explosion on her motorcycle. That feels like something out of an action movie. Isn't that just crazy? Alright, this is the second half of Thermal Base, and this is where things start to get really crazy. And I just want to say this tune, oh man, there's just something really special about it that I don't think any of the other music in this game captures. It's just, I don't know, I can't even describe it, just listen. I just can't get enough of this stuff. Speaking of music, I'm going to touch on something I've been meaning to for a while. I think it's safe to say I like all the music in this game, you know? But there's one tune in particular that really stands out to me. Brevon's theme. All 5 mixes of it. Alright, I'll explain in a moment, but I just want to say, I didn't have too much trouble finding all the cards in this game, you know? I didn't need a guide for most of them. In fact, there's one later on this stage that you think would be harder to find, but there's one that's right below us that I just could not find. I went through this stage so many times. And this one just kept eluding me. And finally, after collecting all 99 of the other ones on my own, I had to look up a guide on Steam, as somebody posted, just to find this one. It's in such an inconspicuous spot, and as you can see, it took me a while to get to it as Carol. I was just determined to reach it. I mean, clearly you're supposed to use Lilac's combat ability to reach this spot, but again, I'm playing as Carol. I was determined to reach it. Anyway, yeah, that's that. For me, that card was the hardest one to find in the entire game. Probably not for a lot of other people who just happen to shoot themselves up there at the right second or whatever, purely by accident, but for me, I just could not get it on my own, so oh well. At least I found the other 99 all by myself. So anyway, I want to touch on Brevin's theme again. So, you know, they do something like they do with Mega Man ZX. You know, I like games like that that really create a theme and it just adds to the game, you know? And they do that with this. There are two versions of Brevin's theme that play during some of the cutscenes. You've heard them several times by now. And then there's another one that plays during the final stage, and then there are two more mixes that play during the final boss. But, you know, I won't say any more about that for now, but yeah, it's like right from the very moment you see him drop out of his ship in the opening cutscene, and you hear his theme playing for the first time, it's like, the world will never be the same again. And whenever I hear Brevin's theme, I just get these chills. It is a really good theme. It's a really simple melody, and it's just so strong, and again, I like that they have so many mixes of it, and yet each one seems to convey something a little bit different. You'll see. Oh yeah, I may as well mention, this level is kind of strange in that it has 6 cards in the second half. Most of the stages we've been to so far have had more in the first half than in the second half, and yet this only had 4 in the first half. So for those of you who saw the earlier part and probably thought that I missed one of them as Lilac in the first round, nope. It's just that most of them are clumped together in this spot, and that's one of the reasons why it was so hard for me to find that last one, because I kept thinking surely it must be somewhere in the first half of the stage. But anyway, that switch we pulled a moment ago that like raised the water lowered the water level. There's another switch just like that that'll raise the water level, and we'll come up to it in just a moment. And they make you think that you have to pull it to get to the next part of the level, but no. Anyway, yeah, these things are insta-kill. You end up under one of those things, you're dead. You can step on top of them, though, oddly enough. Yeah, I think that's nice. Do not hit this switch if you want to get the last card in this stage. They really trick you with that. It's like, oh, I guess I better do it. But no, over here, there's a key card. And you see there's a door at the end of the stage, and the last card is behind it. So you have to carry this throughout the rest of the stage. And you wouldn't think to look down there, but yeah, there it is. And then I ended up raising the water level so I could get over here a little faster. It's like, this is what you're supposed to do, but, you know, if you just take time to look around and just think about what you're doing, and you'll find it. Now, you see, if I missed that card up there, I could have just used the one that I found a little earlier, but then I wouldn't have one to reach the end of the stage with. I'm sure somebody's made that mistake. Somebody's found that earlier one, you know, in the place where you have to swim to find it, and then forgotten the one above. It's actually pretty funny. Anyway, yeah, we're almost done with the stage. We've gotten all of the cards, save the last one, I think. This stage just has such a great vibe. I love the colors, I love the visuals, I love all the platforming gimmicks, I love how it just gets more and more intense as it goes on. It's just really cool. It's unique, you know? Like, again, it's not my favorite stage, but I do think it's special. Not much more to say about this stage, really. But I want you to keep an ear out for the mixes of Brevin's theme from now on. Oh, jeez. You see how hard these guys can be? Yes, I did die here. Right above this patch of dirt is the easiest bonus collectible in the whole game. Like, they just give it to you.
Please remain still during the incineration process. Thank you.
Okay, so the second fight with Syntax is actually a lot like the first. It's basically the same. It's just bigger and crazier and more drawn out. Once again, she's using this machine body that harvests slag and then spits it back out at you. She's pretty slow. Her attacks are very telegraphed. They're pretty easy to dodge usually if you just have your head on right. And I won't say it's plodding, but it can take a while. It can be a little frustrating simply because you have to follow her around. You have to follow her lead. It's like you two are dancing, and you have to try not to step on her feet. You know, you gotta play by her rules. It's a pretty short boss fight, really. It's just 3 phases. Each time you damage her enough, she'll dive into the slag below, and the last time she does it, after spewing these things out, she transforms into this giant pinwheel saw blade thing that just goes all over the place. And I admit, it caught me off guard the first time she did that. The first time I got this far. But, yeah. One of the things to keep an eye out for is the platforms, because as she, you know, as you can see, they're heating up as she attacks. And if you stand on them for like more than a second, they will damage you. Not much, but it's just another thing to watch out for. So, you know, you just gotta be careful, be patient, just do this her way, and eventually you will beat Syntax. And, oh. Ah! She's gonna blow! Oh. So yeah, I felt like showing off the bonus room. And for once I got 3 extra lives! What luck!
Lilac scent is this way!
And look at that, they rescued Torque.
Lilac! I'm sorry I ran off without you. We'll never do it again!
We gotta leave! Now!
There it goes again. It's like anytime you hear that theme, even if you don't see Brevin, you know he's coming.
Coalition to attack
Love
my
it.
ship above an inhabited planet. Whatever happened to that prime directive of yours?
You think you're some blameless force of nature, don't you? That the rules don't apply to you!
It's my world on the line. You know exactly how far I'll go to ensure its safety.
Your world is in danger because of the suffering you caused to the other worlds!
My actions have hurt people? I had no idea. I'm dreadfully sorry.
Really? He's lying!
I have a lot of work to do, so let's make this quick. Kill them.
Pressure overload detected. The facility will implode in 6 minutes.
Don't let them escape! Find out who did this!
Looks like Spade came through for us. That's what I like to think anyway.
No! No!
Stand down!
I have to find them!
There are 2 ways we can do this, Dragon, and you're only conscious in one of them.
Do what you have to do.
Well, that was something. See you in part 9, guys.